walk around with those. Welcome. It is so good to see you all today. And I'm glad we've maintained the consistent pattern of people not wanting to sit up front. So normal is good. My name is Valerie Jones, and it is my honor and privilege to serve as your newest president for this campus. It has been a wonderful summer, and you won't believe it today, but it's been very dry here right up until recently. So it has been a wonderful summer learning about and with all of you, and we are so excited to officially kick off Falcon Week with today's Convocation. This looks like a lot, but we're ready. We've got the timer, we're prepared. We're going to move through a lot of information today, but the goal is to introduce you to your colleagues, to let you know the faces that are here that are part of the exciting work that we do together every day. So thank you very much again for being here. Please feel free to come in, have a seat. This is flexible. It's not like kindergarten where you have to raise your hand. Come and go as you need, by all means. Make yourself comfortable today. And we will have a couple commercial breaks in our presentation. And since we're flexed on our starting time, if you would be gracious with us at our ending time, we will have lunch together after today's presentation. First off, new to the campus in the President's office is my executive assistant and rock star extraordinaire, Jenny Fricke. I will add to her AKA's timer manager today, so we are excited to have her on this campus, and she has just been thrilled to be part of this group all summer. My crazy crew is also excited to be part of the family and the team here. This is photo evidence not only of the fur babies, but also on the far right, the feathered friends, and the crazy collection of kayaks, RVs, horses, and dogs that made the trek almost 10 years ago from North Carolina all the way to West Texas. So we are excited to be here, very excited for this step of the adventure, and you will probably see some of these human and furred creatures at some point in time. So the summer has been a really valuable time for me to be able to listen, to hear from you, from your colleagues, from our student services folks who aren't in the room with us today, from our community members, from our education partners. And that listening and hearing and learning time, I am very grateful for. What I have heard is the pride that this community and that this college has for the work that you have done over the past 20 years. What I have heard is the enthusiasm and the excitement, a little bit of anxiety and curiosity about what's to come and where are we going next. A very clear message about we want to know you, we want you to be part of what we do together, and a very clear message from our community partners that they see you and they see us as an integral part of the work that they do. So listening to all of those voices, hearing you, hearing what's important to you, has been critical in me being able to then start the process of shaping where do we go from here. With that, I paired my past experiences and the national movement around community colleges that we have been living in for the last few decades. We're a very young institution of higher education, both as Lone Star College, celebrating 50 years this year, which we're very excited about. But even the institution of community colleges is only about 120 years old. So we're really still defining ourselves. We're really still flexible and pivoting and adjusting to who it is that our community and our students need us to be. So in the recent years, what we've begun to recognize as we look into the data and as we have the tools to know better the students that excel in our systems and the students that inadvertently get turned away in our systems, we recognize across the nation that we can do better and we can do more and we can reach more people more successfully. And so as different colleges across the country have been wrestling with these conversations and have been looking at what does that look like for us, each college chooses what works best for them, what resonates for them. So for some colleges, ideas of care centers or caring campuses, some colleges have embraced love your students as their frameworks. Each college has to decide what works best, what resonates most for them. And a big piece of that work is striving toward more equitable success, because we know that the students who come to us have a breadth of experiences and identities and headspace and confidence and lack of confidence, financial advantage, financial disadvantage, and everything else. And what we can strive to be is the place where, regardless of their personal combination of descriptors, they have the equal opportunity to thrive, because we have done the work to be the place where that's possible for them. We do this work joining also with organizations, both state-level organizations, national groups, nonprofit organizations, and many more, who are really recognizing that this work is not only important at the individual level, which is critical, but also at the state level and the national level to define who we can be as the state of Texas, who we can be as the extended Houston region, who we can be as a nation, and that will be defined by who we allow to thrive through our doors. So as I put your voices together with the national platform and the national dialogue, and really spent some time thinking about how might we kind of encapsulate all of this complexity together into a concept or a framework that is yet to be fleshed out. That's the work that we do together. But how do we encapsulate that in a framework that can resonate for all of us? And what we've come to is I belong. Because you do. Because on the long days and the hard days and the scary moments and the first days, I belong at CyFair. And I want every single employee, I want every single community member, and I want every single student to walk onto our campus physically or to join us virtually and feel like they are part of us and they belong. And we'll talk a little bit more about that sense of belonging, but that is the combination of the heart of what I saw connecting the voices specific to us and here and now and each other, and fitting that into this national dialogue. And I chose because I want us to be thinking of this as from within. I don't want us to inadvertently perceive that we're telling other people on the outside, you out there, you belong also. And yes, we will use you and we and all the other wonderful pronouns, but very intentionally to use that language from the internal as we do this work together. What I also wanted was to really compel us to remember that that sense of belonging has to be with technology, within technology. And so while I have already had some of our students say, oh, the I reminds me of iCarly, which I then had to Google. That the little I, is intentionally resonating in technology. Because if there's one thing that we've experienced through the most challenging 2 years of the global pandemic, it's that we find a way to connect with each other. Whether it's singing from the balconies and YouTubing concerts together from across the globe, we will find a way to connect with each other. We will find a way to resonate together. And we do that within technology when that is what's necessary of us. So we have to remember that as we move forward in this work. The college relations team has already done phenomenal work beginning this process of collecting stories and images of real people across our faculty, our staff, our students, our community. And the goal is to collect a whole series of these mini snapshots of real people who are really part of who we are, telling that story and getting that message out that whoever you identify with in these collections, I belong at Lone Star College-CyFair. I was asked when we were sharing some of these with students to get their initial feedback, I was asked how many of these are we going to do, and the official count is a bajillion. So we will do a lot. We will do as many as we are able to do. We want to know from you, who do you feel like should be part of this narrative, be part of this representation? Because we want it to be inclusive of our entirely beautifully diverse collection of faculty and staff and students and community members. So we're very excited about the branding of this work together, and the work that we will do together begins now. Because this is the direction that we go, but as anybody knows who's been on a grand adventure, we need more than just the broad direction. I'm headed south. Okay. There's a lot of choices to make in that. I'm headed east, right? And so the path and the direction and the details we will craft together as we go through this work. And what it means to you will be a different piece of the quilt than what it means for your neighbor or what it means for the person 3 rows in front of you. But it takes all of those pieces coming together to create this space. We will learn and we will continue to share with each other the voices of thought experts who are in this work from all kinds of different areas. They may be within education, they may be within higher education, but they may not. And so this is an opportunity for us to share with each other the insights and the perspectives that help drive and motivate us in the direction of our work together. So Brene Brown, who happens to be local, Brene Brown is one of those voices. And these quotes for me really help resonate to the message and the reality of what it means to embrace I belong. And I do remind us the middle is messy, right? Part of why we tend to resonate toward the extremes of the continuum is it's easier to have absolutes. It's easier to know this is always the wrong thing, this is always the right thing. It's hard to say, but what about? But what about this situation, right? But that is our daily world, is the what about. So today's presentation started at 10. If I had come up here and said, yeah, half of people are still out there, we're going to start at 10 because it said we're going to start at 10, is that the message that I wanted to send? No, it's not. Because we're in this together, and it's amazing that everybody was so excited to see each other, and they were talking and they were visiting. I don't want to end that, because we also have a start time, right? And so it takes judgment, and it takes discretion, and it's messy. And there are going to be people who are like, but it said, we're supposed to be started. That's true. And so I ask grace and patience of all of us, because we will all have those moments in time. I think the top quote for me is one of those that if we just remember that as we're driving to work in traffic with people who are not always super friendly on the roads, as we're looking for parking spaces as it starts to get more crowded, either here or when we're shopping or elsewhere, when we're walking past each other on the sidewalks and we see confused faces, as we're walking across campus, we might see a piece of trash that's blown out of the trash can. And we think about the people that we interact with and the little things. Can we say, oh my gosh, I can't believe these people haven't cleaned up. I can't believe these rude people. I am not letting you in. This is my lane forever in this traffic, and I am never letting you in it. We can. We can do that. But we can also make different choices and recognize, I don't know. I don't know what heartbreaking experiences they may be going through, they may have gone through. I don't know what led them to behave in the way that they're behaving in this moment. But what I do know is my ability and my power to change the outcome of our interaction together. And then the last quote, I think as we think about what belonging truly means, we're creating that connection from which we derive sustenance. It may be a very quick engagement. It may be few, and it may be just a moment in the person's life. But if we think about how can we do that in a way that adds joy to their day and helps create engagement at the level of sustenance, that's what we're striving for together. So when we say Maslow's before balloons, just as a reminder, this is the depiction that in Western science identifies the needs, but it correlates across the globe with so many different philosophical perspectives, religious perspectives, cultural perspectives. So the terms and the language changes. But what we know is that if we are unsure of where we're going to sleep, if we don't know where our next meal is going to come from, and if we are uncertain about whether or not we are going to have access to the basic foundational needs for our existence, we are not able to function at the level of aspiration and what I want to be in the world. And notice where belonging falls. Not very far from water and food. It is core. It is central to who we are as human beings. And so if we start there, if we prioritize that, if we recognize that, then we make the decisions because of that, and with the appropriate value and prioritization of that. I think it's also very important for us to remember that our diverse and amazing and beautiful and rapidly growing community does not have its wealth equally divided, as is very often the case around the globe. So while we do have some very well-to-do areas, we have some folks that are financially very secure, we also have a tremendous amount of our community that is not. And so as we think about the diversity of our community, it's important that we recognize that part as well. Only then are we able to really ask students to step into the levels of learning. And what learning looks like, has changed so much since the internet. Right? Who here, show of hands, has ever learned something because you YouTubed it? All right, exactly. We have so much access to how to do so many things. I mean, think about all of the challenges. Maybe some of that learning wasn't the best idea. Don't do the cinnamon one. We have so many different ways to learn. Even higher education in the world of MOOCs has really just been going through a massive transformation in such a short window of time. The last 2 years, of course, have shown us that whether we like it or not, the online environment is a critical part of higher education. And I think it took us about 10 years farther, faster ahead than we were already on a trajectory for, but we're here. And so now we get to make smart, wise decisions about what do we do from here, and how do we keep the best of that, and what have we learned through that together. And the image in the top right corner shows us or reminds us that that learning environment and that working environment is way more complicated than it used to be, and that it might be at home. It might be both people, both parent and child on a digital device, both in school, both at work, who knows? But that combination of the digital environment into our home environment brings work and school and adult school and kids school all together into this space. And that sounds great, as long as you have those computers, and as long as you have that home internet, and as long as it has the bandwidth to serve all of the different people who now need it. And those are a lot of ifs. So remembering that it was already hard to do the Bloom's taxonomy. Learning and teaching was difficult from the beginning, right? Well, now it's even more complicated. So in order to have a high bar for each other and for our students, it requires that we pull together to think and learn together on how do we do it best. I had the opportunity to meet the new faculty yesterday, and those collective conversations like that, the connection with mentors, the connection with all of you in this room, that's what it takes to continue to up our ability to meet the students where they need us to meet them. The first part of this quote is the more famous part. The second part of the quote is the part that I want to call our attention to today. Because if we believe that I belong is integral to the success of our students, if we believe that as a community college and one of the leaders in this nation, it is integral for us to ensure that every student who comes to our physical or virtual doors has an equitable chance at success and at thriving and exceeding their wildest dreams, then we are ready to accept that challenge, and we are unwilling to wait. We are unwilling to let more students fall by the wayside, and we'll get to it later. We are committed to doing it today, and we're committed to doing it together. The world that we live in is such that education, learning, thinking together is very often targeted because of the power that it holds. It's not easy, it's complicated, it's messy. We have lots of different perspectives, lots of different researched perspectives. There's lots of conflicting information to navigate, but it's important. It's what makes the dreams possible. It's what makes it possible for the people who never thought that they were meant to be here to not only realize that they are, but that dreams they never anticipated being able to craft can be theirs. It's not easy. This is one of my favorite quotes by Mother Teresa, because I think we often forget that it's much easier to love people at a distance, to love the idea of people. It is much messier to love each other up close. When the student hasn't turned their work in, when they're not answering your calls or your emails, when they're angry at you in the registration line, when they're moving around, when you can't find them, it is much harder to love the real person in front of you, behaving in real ways that may absolutely rub you the wrong way, but that is where the magic happens. It is hard. That's why we need each other to navigate through this together, because it is hard. And we will not be perfect. We will be imperfect every day, but we will be imperfect together. And so we will give each other the grace and the compassion to navigate these waters. What does that look like for us? These are the institutional goals that I've set out, and they are still draft. So if you have adjustments that you feel like are helpful, please let me know. But these are intended to cast 3 overarching umbrella directions for us as a college as we move forward into this year together, with the intention that you see a place for your role and your work to fit within. The first being that we will focus on the completion for our students, and we will focus on more students successfully completing a credential that allows them to take that next step in their adventure together. And we will be particularly attentive in that work to students who have otherwise been underrepresented or marginalized. We will also work together to figure out, what does I belong mean? What does that look like? What are those tenets? How do we best encapsulate this as we think about this work together over the next year? And then lastly, we will seek to eliminate. I had originally said reduce. I'm like, wait a minute, my goal isn't to have some inequities. The goal is to have no inequities. Some is okay, you know. To eliminate the inequities that people experience because of our processes or practices as a campus. And these are almost always unintended, right? And so it's very hard work to be able to be honest and raw and vulnerable with each other, and to say, hey, I think this should be better, and to be able to say, you're right. We need to figure out how that can be better. So as we do this work looking forward, I'm going to say there's some ducky people in here, I know. Yeah, I was waiting for the groan. I was like, there's going to be a groan somewhere. As we do this work looking forward, it is critical that we anchor it in who we have been. Maybe we will not go back to the world's longest acronym. As Lone Star College used to be, North Harris Montgomery Community College District, But we must anchor and know and be familiar with and embrace who we have been as a college for almost 20 years, because it is an amazing history. We used to have orange as our color, is my understanding, yes? There you go. And we used to be the Ducks.
Yeah.
That's right. These are all parts of who we are. So while the duck may have grown up into a falcon, these are all pieces of who we are. And these two excerpts are taken from articles that were written back in the 03, 04, 05, 06 window of time. So show of hands if you have been part of Lone Star College in the 03, 04, 05, 06 window of time. Take a look around. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Even you, Ronnie. Because the work that you have done has made us who we are today. And raise your hand if you have joined us after 06. Excellent. You are the people who continue to help us define who we will be. So we're in this work together. I did want to share the numbers because I know there's been a lot of discussion about enrollments and numbers. We are ridiculously huge. It's a fantastic part of who we are. And there was a moment in time where we were celebrating our summer numbers at 5,800 students. Right? So we grow, we expand, we redefine ourselves together. And this is who we are today. So as we look at our data, as we look at our crazy rate of growth in dual credit, which is another critical part of the work that we do in outreach to our community and in messaging to our students that yes, you are college material, and that maybe students who are already on a path to university as second, third, and fourth generation, and it may be students they are the first in their family to set foot in a college environment. And as we do this work, and as we embrace our community, and as we expand and grow, it is really important that we look at our disaggregated data as well, so that we're honest with ourselves about where we need to focus attention for improvement, and where we inadvertently have not yet provided the support necessary for equitable outcomes for our students. Part of this work means we have to talk with each other a lot. So we have a new group, we're really struggling on the name. It's President's Advisory Council, maybe Falcon leaders, open to suggestions. But what was important more than naming, fortunately, since we haven't figured that out yet, is who. And it is important that all of the people, all of the leadership across this wonderful campus have an opportunity to come together, ask questions, get updates, have discussion, create ideas together, and that doesn't matter if you are part of this campus structure or a system structure, or if you're Barker Cypress or Westway or Cypress, we are all LSC-CyFair together. And so being able to have all of these voices at the table together as we have updates, this group now gets together monthly. And so we have these conversations as a collective. We also are going to be embarking on visioning together as a campus. We have a fantastic history with Katy Prairie restoration and windmills and solar panels and landscaping this gorgeous and beautiful, but not Katy Prairie, and all kinds of good stuff. Now is the time for us to say, what does that need to look like as we move forward? What does the technology and nature combination look like for us as a college as we move forward? Most importantly, anchoring that work in how does it make our students feel when they're here on this campus with us. So there'll be a call out for anyone who's interested in participating in this visioning work together. And it is so critical to remember that this college has done phenomenal work. You have supported your students. You have astronomical accomplishments as evidenced by some astronomical, pun fully intended, students doing really good work. Really good work. So I want to make sure that we create opportunities to celebrate that as we navigate this process together as well. A big piece of that is continuing to collaborate so that we clarify the importance and the value and the integral contribution that Lone Star College-CyFair has in our community and in the long-term success of our students, because we have the ability to set paths for tremendous accomplishments and telling our students' stories is an essential part of that as well. So again, as we move forward to our future goals, we anchor ourselves in the dirt that made this college. Dignity, integrity, respect, and trust are four of the original values of this college. We hold on to those, and we have them in the foundation of our work together as we move forward. Please remember, it is hard work that we do, but there is no more important work than what you do. So you have the ability, you have the power to make the difference for each of our students, and equally importantly, for each of the people in this room. Thank you so much for being here today. I am so looking forward to this year together with you. And next up is Michelle.
Good morning. My name is Michelle Trey. I'm the Executive Director of College Relations, in case you don't know me. And I'm going to introduce my team now. Obviously, this is me and my daughter, Sydney, at her graduation. She will be a Falcon this fall, so if you see her on campus, please say, "Oh my God, I know your mom." She loves that. She loves it. And then we have Clay Brazier. He is our graphic designer. I don't know why that says administrative specialist. That is not Clay's job. I am so sorry, Clay. Clay is our graphic designer, and if you do look him up, you need to send him an email. It is actually under Richard, but please don't ever call him that. He goes by Clay. Celia Harper is our special events coordinator. That is her living her best life on one of her many cruises. I think we're at about one a month now. She knows how to live her life. We have Daniel Herrera, who's our video production tech, and he's actually filming this right now if you want to turn around and wave at Daniel. Apparently, him living his best life is being chased by dogs, so I'll have him explain that to you. Donnie Jansen, our web coordinator, doing what he does best, which is baking. I don't know if you've ever had any of his tasty treats around Halloween time, but yeah, right? Itzel Medina, she is our administrative specialist, and that is her and her family at Disney World, her favorite place. And Kelly Norton, our media relations coordinator up in Seattle, visiting family or friends or both maybe? Okay. So I have some fun announcements for you all. I'm super excited to let you know CyFest is coming back. Yes, my office is so psyched about this, and so is the events committee. It's going to be a little bit of a smaller scale, our first year back, but we're going to have all of the fan favorites like the children's train, the pumpkin patch, and some crafting activities and things like that. So we'll have more details in our upcoming newsletter, which is, I believe, September 6th, along with some information about how you can volunteer. So yeah, I'm so glad CyFest is back, y'all. It's a new day here. This is going to be great. Another important event, almost important as CyFest, right, is our 50-year anniversary. So LSC is celebrating 50 years. You've probably already seen the banners that Ted has placed around the drive. Look beautiful, Ted. And next week, we're going to be putting up some timeline pieces. System Office is sending us kind of the history of our college system. And those will be on display in the lobby area out here in front of the center, the theater. So traditional events like Convocation and the Employee Awards and Star Gala will also be branded with that special 50-year logo. And then our advertisements, you'll see that on print advertisements and television commercials that the System Office puts out as well. I don't have any information on whether or not there are going to be any special events or activities for employees, but we do have another meeting coming up in 2 weeks. So as we get that information, we'll share that either through e-blasts or the newsletter. And then, of course, our campus opened its doors, this campus, in 2003. So in 2023, we're going to celebrate our 20 years of serving students. And we'll be sharing our plan for those festivities early spring. But the events committee has already met to kind of iron out some of the things that we would like to see to celebrate. So And we have some workshops coming up. We have our special events planning workshop, where you can learn how to schedule a room, what resources you're going to need to get that process started. Please always make sure you confirm you have a room before you advertise your event. Believe it or not, that's happened a lot of times on this campus. You'll also learn how to get marketing assistance for your event and kind of the special touches that we can add to it to make your event a success. We'll also be doing College Relations 101 workshop, which is covers everything from branding guidelines to how to request marketing materials from us so that you don't have to design your own pieces. We really would prefer if you didn't do that, please. Also, how to figure out what marketing assets you need to achieve your goals. Sometimes you might not be sure of what it is you're exactly in need of, so we can sit down with you and kind of plan that process out. And we're also going to cover social media, why it's important. We're going to talk about terms like content creator and influencer that I think get confused a lot. I love you all, but no one in this room is an influencer. I'm sorry. You're a content creator, so I know that hurts, but we'll be talking about that. So please sign up for that in my workshops. Matthew. And lastly, I want to give a shout out, and I hope she's here. She is? Where is she? Kim Lane, where are you? Oh, hey! Kim Lane is my college relations super falcon. She advocates and shares all of our social media posts. I think she's up to 11 this month so far. It's super important that we do this. Share them on your pages, share them on your LinkedIn, share our announcements on your neighborhood Facebook pages and Nextdoor pages. It really helps a lot. And Kim, we have a special gift for you. So after this is over with, I have a bag for you, but thank you. I hope you all have a great fall semester, and I am happy to see all of you back.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Rachel Evans, reference librarian.
And hello, I'm Becca Stevenson. I serve as the manager of student outreach.
And we are excited to be the ambassadors for CyFair's 2022 Employee Giving Campaign. This campaign supports scholarships, college programs, and emergency assistance. All donations to the campaign are completely voluntary, confidential, and tax-deductible, and any amount $1 or more counts. Since 1991, the foundation has provided over $18 million in scholarships to more than 20,000 students, plus $8.5 million in program and emergency support. And also, just to say what happened last year the foundation provided over $2 million in scholarships to over 2,000 students, plus more than $450,000 in program and emergency support. The LSC Foundation provides support through partnerships with individuals, organizations, and more, and through events such as the golf tournament and Star Gala. Since 2015, employee giving raised over $1 million with an average of 39% employee participation from over 12,000 employees. The 2022 theme is LSC's 50th anniversary to celebrate the past and pave the way for the future. The goals are to educate and empower employees about the foundation and campaign, increase the participation percentage, and actually for our campus, we've set a goal of 50% participation in honor of the 50-year anniversary, raise funds for our campus community, and to work as one LSC towards student success. Funds donated go towards scholarships, student and employee emergency assistance, and college programs. And also, you can designate where you would like your funds to go. The campaign will take place September 19 to October 14. Please ask Becca and me and team leaders if you have questions. You may also contact the foundation directly with questions. And this list here is the LSC-CyFair team for this year. We are working together to plan fun activities for you. Yes. Thank you. Yes, we have a great group of the ambassadors and the team leaders this year, and we're all working together to plan fun activities for you, so stay tuned for more information. Thank you, everyone, for all your support.
Prepare to blow. And so that's made possible by your contributions. So thank you very much. And I'm excited to do this campaign together this year. All right, first commercial break. If you have a little red card with a number on it, call the ticket. Pull it out. Now is the time. All right, whoever this lucky person is going to be cheered, celebrated, and then meet at the back of the auditorium, and then we'll have our next speaker come up. All right, so the number starts with 4. We got all winners so far, right? 491. All right, we already got some joy and tears. Last 3 numbers. 5, 7, 9. Nobody has 5, 7, 9? Okay, we have a winner already in the back. Congratulations. And please welcome to the stage our very own Campus Diversity Manager, Cindy.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jones. I'm not going to switch that. Can you all hear me? No. Good? Okay. All right. Okay. Well, good morning and kiddo, everyone. My name is Cynthia De Leon Guerrero, and everyone calls me Cindy. I come to you from the Northern Mariana Islands, and I'm sure you all know about the state of Hawaii. Yes, the state. I'm not from there though. So in the state of Hawaii, they greet everyone with an aloha. Can everyone say aloha? Aloha. Wonderful. From my islands, the Northern Mariana Islands, we say tiro, and that means greetings with deep respect. Can everyone say tiro? Tiro. One more time. Tiro. You got it. Good job. So I am your CyFair Campus Diversity Manager. I am an advocate, a practitioner. I'm also a human resource policy trainer. I spent a lot of my years in human resource development training. I am a member of the ASCD, which is a curriculum nonprofit group. I'm also still a member of the ACCT. It's the Association of Community College Trustees. At one point in my life, I served as a trustee for a college, and so I continue to be a member of that group. Let's see, what else? I am a first-generation college student. I am the first from my clan, thank you, and I am also the first from my tribe. And so I continue to push all the young folks from my tribe to keep going, don't give up, go to school, right? And it's folks like you that help me keep them motivated. So thank you for all that you do. I've spent about 18 years, a little bit more, working in higher education. And one thing I've learned is that I don't know everything. I don't know anything, right? But one thing I do know is that I do speak 5 of the languages in Micronesia. So if you ever have a student from Micronesia join you in your class and you need a translator, I'm here. So this is the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. This is the team led by Ms. Carlisha Wright, who is the Chief Diversity Officer. Right next to her, in the picture up there, is Laura Cardiel. She is our Executive Director for Analytics. Next to her is Lauren Porter, who serves as the Executive Assistant. And we have Danielle Miller, who is currently standing in sitting in at the Tomball campus as the Campus Diversity Manager, but she really has another job, and she's really given us her time and helped to take care of our folks at Tomball. We have Julie Wrightsey, who is the Diversity Manager at North Harris. You have myself here at CyFair. I love you, CyFair. And then we have Ms. Dewana Lamb Morrison, who is the manager at Kingwood. Dr. Yolanda Lopez is our diversity manager at Montgomery. And Dr. Kessler, David Kessler, is our Houston North diversity manager. And that, folks, is your Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion team. So what's on the horizon? Here are some of the things you can look forward to in this academic year. We will continue to offer system-wide presentations on various monthly topics and PD topics, virtual reality projects. We will host listening sessions with students. We hope to bring back the Safe Zone training soon, and of course, collaborating with all our campus partners in building resources for DEI. In the coming year, I will be offering unconscious bias, microaggression, professional development opportunities, and I'm hoping that we can get a team together to really create a promotional video for CyFair. And finally, you can expect to see me sitting in on your search committees as your search advocate. Thank you.
Good morning. Great to see everybody back. So just want to share with you some of the, let me do this. Share with you some of the project that is on campus. So as you notice that we do have new monument sign. Oh, where did that go? So we do have new monument sign, and here's the logic behind it. It's go clockwise. So entrance A is on Barker Cypress. B, C, D, E is on West Row. And F is where Townley comes in. So we're also having an extra traffic light in front of entrance D. So we're going to have 2 traffic lights on West Row. Okay. And I think they did a very good job with the sign. And then we also have new building sign. And the building sign is also have logic to it. Again, it's going to be clockwise, with art being building 1, tech being building 2, LRNC, and then going around it clockwise. And ESEC is like the I belong, it's the dot at the end. And we are also going to have a QR code on the wayfinding sign as well as building doors that is being designed by, engaged by Cell. Basically, it's an overlay on the Google map. So the student can know where they are and they walk to different buildings. So some of the construction project is on the tech building. After the Cisco lab moved to Westway Park, we are reconfiguring that. There will be 2 classrooms in there, 2 computer lab, and a collaboration space, workspace. In that area, that is close to completion. It will be completed by mid of September. As you can see, some of the finished space already. And then a major renovation is happening at the first floor of LRNC, where we're going to put in the advising space for foreign students, have more of a update the public space so it's more, the student can use it for group project for the honors college as well as study. And then we also have a space, for resources for the veterans when they have Veterans Fair, etc. And these are some of the furnitures, etc. And here's the construction going on, etc. So these are the visible projects that you see. We also have upgraded the floor in the fitness center, so the sweat is no longer absorbed by the carpet. It is a rubber floor, so you can wipe it after you exercise. So these are the unseen projects we've been working on over the summer. After 19 years, here's all the pine needles at the bottom of our irrigation pump. We had a diver that goes in there with a vacuum cleaner to suck it all up. And this is the new protective gauge that we put at the bottom of the pump, which are really completely corroded by the time we took it out. So these are the site of the campus that you seldom see. And this is a chill water leak right outside of between Tech Building and CENT. And this is the new pipe. It's really interesting what they did is they clamp both sides of the pipe, they freeze it, and they cut the pipe, and then put it back together. So as you can tell, here's the, they're freezing the end, and that's the new pipe that they put in. So here's the project management crew. Mary Montefer is the director of campus projects, as well as her team. One of the projects that we'll be working on for this year is we're going to review all the ADA, accessibility, etc. So that is on the list. Here's the facility teams. It have, so Sherry is the facility manager for HVAC and buildings. Mike Tolman is the facility manager for grounds and custodial services. And Yolanda is the facility supervisors. And here's the rest of the facility HVAC team, and the grounds team, and the custodial team. And these are the custodial over at Cypress Center. So on the business office, here's the business office staff. Want to share a few interesting items for you. Normally when you want to buy something, you go to your dom and ask for money. And my dom would say, no, you don't have the money, so you go to the dean. And then the dean would say, well, let me go, ask the VP. And the VP will be knocking on my door and say, Ted, do you have money? And then I will go to Jennifer Vaughn and say, where do we hide the money? So that's the most important person on campus. And here's our payment counter staff. And I really want to let you guys know that not only do they take care of student accounts, okay, they also spend a lot of time to making sure that the student accounts are current. So this last fiscal year, we basically helped 1,100 students to bring their accounts current so that they can register again. So this is the part that I'm really proud of in terms of working with all the deans, the DOMs, the VPs, is that we're able to maximize our budget. People are giving up money that they don't think they use, and in that in this past year, we spent about a little bit less than $400,000 in upgrading the instructional equipment. So you have Cisco equipment here, you have, microscope, and then we have, 3D printers, piano, etc. So this is really great team effort that we do at CyFair that I don't think a lot of the other campuses do. So my presentation will never end without graph and chart and numbers. So our budget for CyFair for fiscal year 23 is $52.3 million. Is a little bit $2 million higher than fiscal year 22, but the majority of the funding is really in compensation. So our budget for 23 is enrollment of 121,520 with 4,360 sections and a fill rate of 87%. So, I really want to thank everybody that was involved in the budget. I know the chairs, the deans, the DOMs, and everyone. Thank you for making it happen so that we have a game plan going forward.
I do want to take a quick moment to ask us to thank one last time the magic behind the scenes done by our grounds team, our facilities teams, our project teams, all of our custodial staff. You all are our heart and soul. Thank you so much. Captain Timiak, my friend, the mic is yours.
Hi everybody, how are you? Guys, all I can tell you is it's good to be back at CyFair. It is good to be back where I belong. I look out there, I see so many smiling faces, and I realize how much I miss you guys. So it's good to be back. Guys, I want to tell you, this is my team. Now, unlike many other things, you'll notice there's not a lot of captions because police by nature are kind of an aloof group. And when you start taking pictures, they want to know why. And so, but that is our team. It is what it is. And so I kind of want to take a moment. I put our mission statement up there, right? So I want you guys to know that honestly, our job, the reason we are here is for you. We are your support, but we need your help, right? That's my team. That's your team. It's not a lot of people for many students and size of the facilities we have, right? So I want to encourage you guys, if you see something, say something. Let one of my guys know, or girls, let me know. If you don't feel like, hey, I really don't want to be mixed up in it, there's our website. You can actually submit anonymous tips there. So I encourage you guys, check out the website. Take your cell phone out. I know everyone's got one. Most presenters like, God, they're paying attention to their cell phones. Save that number, 281-290-5911. Okay, you'll see it posted throughout campus as well. They are a 24/7, 365-day a year. You call them anytime. Someone's going to answer a phone. They're going to ask you what you need, and they will send an officer to your location. Okay? So it's really important that you guys have this number. It doesn't matter if you're off campus and you just have a question. Hey, is the campus open? Or hey, can I come up there? Give us a call. Somebody will answer the phone. Okay? We are here for you. That's it. Simple as that, right? Some of the services we offer, obviously, we have uniform patrol. But who knew we had a criminal investigations department? Who knew we actually had detectives who are on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, just to do criminal investigations? But we also do threat mitigation. And so what that means is, hey, I've got something going on, not quite sure, maybe I've seen some troubling posts on Facebook, or Twitter, or Foursquare, or something like that. Let us know. We can submit the tip online. One of our investigators will take a look at it. We'll do threat mitigation on it. Go in and talk with the person. Hey, what do you mean by this post? Maybe it's something. Maybe they're getting ready to drop a new album. Maybe. You may be surprised, but it may mean something more nefarious as well. And then lastly, we've got safety escorts and motorist assistance. There should be no reason that you should ever get locked out of your car and have to call a tow truck. We will help you with that. If you need a jump start, we're here for that too. And so please reach out to us if you ever have any questions. Our guys are really approachable. It's one of those things to interact with the community. So that's it. So thank you again. Appreciate it.
Morning, everyone. For those that don't know me, my name is Doug Caesar. I wanted to welcome everyone back, take this opportunity for what will be my 23rd academic year here with Lone Star College. OTS is here to help. We're here to help foster and support success in education. That includes faculty, students, and all members of our community. So, just wanted to also show you my team up here. A lot of people here. I know that I only have 3 minutes. Jenny's holding up the sign, and my user services manager, also Daryl, said 3 minutes, Doug, just 3 minutes. So we do have some new faces along with some of the old ones. So if you're looking for any information about the services that we offer about OTS, one of the best resources is our website, and I'm not going to go out there and spiel it out there, but it's up there. Take a picture of it. Most of the long-timers here, such as myself, know where that's at. But really, the best and fastest and easiest way to get any type of help or questions is to contact our 24-hour day, 7-day a week, 365-day a year OTS service desk. Also, you can walk in. Our offices are located in the first floor of the technology building in Tech 120. And as Otis says, we are we are happy to help you. So also too, if you have an IT problem during class or in an instructional area, which we know that can sometimes cause some frustration, faculty, the easiest way to get help and create a priority ticket is to pick up the emergency classroom phone and dial 3, and it will dial directly to OTS. And if you tell them that it's an in-progress call, they will triage the call appropriately, and you should see someone within 10 minutes or less. Also, too, I wanted to just take a little bit of time here to talk about the LSC Tech Connect program. As Dr. Jones talked a little bit about using technology, this program, particularly here at CyFair, and where is Sandra? Where are you at, Sandra? I wanted to personally thank Sandra for being an advocate and also to an intermediary between myself, OTS, and the faculty to help promote this program. I did want to share with you, but she'll have some other information I know in Faculty Senate today, and this goes for not just faculty, but anybody that interacts with students, is that we just recently, late afternoon, had our 3,000th pickup of an SDI device here since fiscal year 2022. And we have plenty more. So encourage your students to please go ahead, or encourage a student that if they are enrolled in 6 credit hours, or if they are a CE student and they're taking 1 class, they are eligible to be able to receive either a laptop or an iPad. So with that, I'm going to pass it on to Dr. Dempsey.
Thank you, OTS, for that responsiveness and for helping 3,000 students reach their dreams. That's a huge contribution. Thank you. All right, next commercial break. Those of you who still have a red ticket whose number has not been called, let's see how we do. And I think Ashley Resendez was the winner of the last one, so she had just made an appearance when she won. I think it was rigged. All right, this ticket is 491 3 5 355 is the last. All right, we have a winner. Come on down. And it is my honor to introduce your BPI, Dr. Matthew Dempsey.
Well, when I was thinking about what I wanted to say to you, I had not anticipated having to start this off with an apology. Not a good look for the fall. However, do you know that summer slideshow that you all saw? Through the vortex that is my email box these days, I missed somebody's summer pictures. I'm sorry, Kim Lane. But I do know what you did this summer. And you had a great summer. Before I introduce my team, there was one specific person that did not want to be embarrassed or pointed out specifically. And I respect that. Can my deans and directors please stand up? Stay standing. Did I ever tell you you're my hero? Did I ever tell you you're everything I wished I could be? I could fly higher than a falcon because you are the wind. You can sit down now. Was not sure how that was gonna pull off. Seriously, couldn't do it without y'all. You really are. Fantastic team, and I do want to introduce them all. Dr. Michelle Duke, Library Director, Melanie, holding down the Cyber Center, Dean Sellers, Kim Hubbard, driving tech over at Westway, I did ask the deans to go through some rebranding and think it was, Division I was so descriptive that they are now the Llama Division. Science and Engineering, Dean Claire Phillips, and her new granddaughter, Lana, born August 4th, right? Dean Dr. Fay Dr. Warren Bear, Dean LeBret, Dr. Gernhardt, so let's talk. I am a firm believer in that when you say you're going to do something, that you do that thing and then you tell people what you did about that thing. So, accountability, I believe. So when I stood up here before you, behind the podium, last time, I said that we were gonna go ahead and reboot the community garden. Progress on that. Thank you so much to everybody that has helped contribute to rebooting the community garden 2.0. It is under new leadership, but thank you to those that have offered your counsel, your time, your energy. We went from some very large meetings to some smaller meetings, but I think we've got everything focused. Thank you, Andrea Hollinger, who is going to spearhead with Cindy Sledge, and they're going to kick off the community garden. We are looking for a groundbreaking in spring 2023, and right now their big benchmark is they've got the site proposed. So thank you to them, thank you to everybody that's helping the community garden, and we look forward to more updates to come. I said I was going to do something about student success because it sounded like a great thing to say coming from the vice president. And I kind of knew what I wanted to have accomplished, but I was really waiting for that moment to fall from the sky. And thank goodness it did. We had a great opportunity to learn from Dr. Lowry Hart from Amarillo College. And just like I Belong, it's a focused program that talks about caring for our students, wraparound holistic support. That student success initiative is going to take the form of I Belong, in which we are going to unify this college in helping our students succeed in the courses they're currently in. A little bit more on that later. We promised you a faculty roundtable, and we had one. 47 faculty participated. It has since produced a 14-page document in which me and the ILT team have gone through, and I'm not kidding you, line by line by line. She who wishes to not be acknowledged captured every single data point that was put up by the faculty. We could have just addressed the 6 big things, but we decided it was good if we addressed them all, because all ideas are equal. So we've gone through line by line, and I will send that out to you all shortly. The deans will be talking to us throughout the semester about how we're going to turn those into action items. The last thing that I promised you was an examination on mental health at this college. Now, it would be remiss of me to use this opportunity to promote a VPI forum at 1 o'clock at Cent on Thursday, so I won't do that. But I did want to let you know that when we put out a survey to all faculty, all adjunct faculty, only 8% said they knew exactly what to do in the case of a mental health crisis. That was an exceedingly low number, especially considering that was only the people that responded to the survey. It's another conversation. We know that you're not counselors, well, most of you are not counselors, and we know that you're good humans. So somewhere in there lies our responsibility. And all we really want to get out of this session on Thursday, which may or may not be at 1 to 3 o'clock in the Cent on Thursday, all we really want to accomplish are 3 basic goals. 1, that you know what to do in the case of a mental health crisis. Number 2, that you are empowered to identify someone who might be undergoing a mental health crisis. And number 3 is to satiate what we think is a growing need on this campus to get mental health training. And one of the things that you will see in this presentation on Thursday at 1 o'clock in Cent is that the advice that's given, the skills that are given, are not just good for your students. They're good for all of us. When you are faced with a mental health crisis in your classroom, we've boiled it down to only 2 things that you have to do. Y'all remember that movie in the 80s with Edward James Olmos and Lou Diamond Phillips? Stand and deliver. That's all you got to do. And we're going to teach you about how to stand and deliver. It's really simple. Stand. You're going to assess the situation. Deliver. You're going to get the student to the right resources. It's that easy. You're just going to stand and deliver. So hopefully, when I see you, 1 o'clock Thursday in Cent, we'll go through that training. We'll get some professional words to put behind stand and deliver. So here's what we've got next. We've got our 2022, yeah, that's right here, 2023 projects that we want to get for you. Number 1 is ACE and I Belong. So I Belong has been kicked off. Now let's do something about it, and let's measure it. So what we are aiming for under the I Belong construct is student success at an 85% success rate. No gasps? Okay. You got this. I don't even need to sell it. No, that's aspirational visionary leadership right there. We know that 85% might be tough to come by. We're going to help you get there. It is not about how hard that job is. It's not running from that fight. It's about doing it and doing it right now. Paraphrasing the JFK quote we saw earlier. We know we won't get all the way to 85% everywhere, but we are going to try because it's the right thing to do. And what we're going to do is we're going to make this through our ACE goals, and we're going to measure it. It's going to be great. The neatest part about this, as you work chairs, deans, faculty through this, we are going to make it a space in which we reward innovative ideas with plenty of space for failure, no pressure, and we're going to try to make it so that we learn from one another, so that as an institution, we achieve an 85% student success rate. Again, that's way off there. The I Belong program, Dr. Lowry Hartz, it took about 5 years for them to get that going. This is not going to happen overnight, but we will get there. A couple of other task forces that I would like to kick off this semester. Number one, open educational resources. There is a lot of research that supports the benefit of students having access to materials on the first day. There's also a lot of research that supports the idea that if students have no-cost materials, that they do better. And so we are going to put together a task force and investigate some of the best practices and some of the champions we have here on campus that want to do or do open educational resources. Likewise, we are going to look at competency-based evaluation. We'll put together a task force and we'll talk about what that is. And if you think about it, competency-based evaluation is just a self-paced class in which students can accelerate or decelerate based on their learning needs. Very exciting work that we hope to do. We are going to reintroduce writing across the curriculum. Wonderful active learning strategies, critical thinking skills, things that we all want in our classrooms. Amy Larson sent me a page, and I promise I will send that out to you all so that you can join her effort in helping get writing back across the curriculum. There was an email that went out today about faculty evaluations, and one of the things about faculty evaluations that we want to have happen is that they're a meaningful process that brings you what you need. Timely feedback, feedback that means something. The brand new document, which we've asked you to take one look at, is way more open-ended. It adds for more space. It adds for an opportunity for you to align with the faculty qualities of excellence. I hope that you enjoy the new process, and I hope that you embrace it and it means something to you. And then there's that thing. Since 1999, Rate My Professors has been affecting college enrollments throughout the nation. I'm not saying it's fair. 25% of all Rate My Professors ratings are rated by professors themselves. There's got to be a way that we can game this Yelp for instruction that feels so unfair, that feels so judgmental, that has real no forum for us to rebuttal and to come back again. I really want you all to understand, I understand this. I have a rating too, not here. It's probably one my class didn't make. But I will tell you, there's a way to game this. And I want to work with you together. I want to work with you, get your best practices, get your best ideas, and talk to you about a way that we can help make Rate My Professors work for us and not against us. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I am Rebecca Morales, yes, and I have the distinct honor to be your HR director for CyFair College. This is a really special assignment for me because this fall will make 7 years that I have been with the college, and I started my career with Lone Star right here on this campus, so this is really like family. You know, I, like many of us, have had the opportunity to accept different assignments throughout the college, both at the system and other locations, but coming back here to kind of where it all started is like coming home. So I get to connect with some of my friends that are still here, and then also have the opportunity to make a lot of new friends, and I'm really excited about that. So I do not do the work in the HR office alone by any means. I have a great team that supports me, and I'm honored to lead them. So let me see from, because I can't see. Who do we have here? Here's the team. So from left to right is Kritzia. She's our HR coordinator. Then myself, we have a new recruiter with us this year, Isabella, down here is with us as well. And then we have Trudy, who has recently joined our office in the capacity of a part-time coordinator. We have one more team member who is not up there. Many of you will remember Riddhi Patel. She is still with us, but Riddhi is currently out because she welcomed our newest little falcon into the family just this last month, the 30th of July. So we miss her terribly, but we are really excited that she has this time with her family and to, be with her little one. This is every which way that you could possibly connect with us. So please take out your phone, take a picture. It's my understanding this slide will be provided to you at a later time as well. But we want to hear from you. We are here for you. We are very much a support office, and we're very well aware of that. We are open to all of your feedback, and that's one of our goals, continuous process improvement, helping in any which way that we can. And that has changed a lot and will continue to change, so we really want to hear from you. One of the pieces of feedback that we have gotten is, who does what? And one of the offices that we really get confused with is payroll. So I wanted to take a minute to give this little tidbit of information. There's payroll's number down at the bottom if you ever need that. But in all honesty, if you can't figure it out, if you don't know where to go, come back and see us. We will do everything that we can to connect you with whoever it is that you're looking to connect with and make sure that you're taken care of. So again, thank you so much for having me. Welcome to a new school year.
Fantastic. Good morning to you. Good morning. That's good. That's fantastic, as a matter of fact. In fact, someone just texted me, very important, said, wrap this up. You're standing between, that's right, standing between lunch and fellowship. So I am going to wrap this up. I'm telling you right now, here's my presentation. There are 4 slides. All 4 of them are big. Here's the first one. Yeah, round of applause right there. That's very, very good. I could have done individual pictures, but we would have been here a while. This is our team. I want to say this. Several of you here, any of the managers, directors here, or anyone from the student service team directly in the council hallway, don't just wave your hand, stand up. It's okay, because most can't get here. The bottom line, because they're working, registering students. I want to say this. There are really no little I's and big U's in our area, and neither at the college. The I belong theme is so amazing. You see the little I before belong. We're so excited about this, I can't even tell you. Super, super exciting. In fact, I just saw a custodian walking over here. On the back of his shirt, it was a Lone Star CyFair shirt, and it said limitless possibilities. And that's amazing when our grounds team and custodians are a part of what we're doing. Super excited about that. So those are our people. Hope you recognize some of them. You'll see 84% of them in CASA 1. And they'll be over there at lunch. In fact, they're probably coming over there early for a change. Finally, they're going to get an early meal. The second slide is this. Ted produced a bunch of things that are happening here that are related to improvements at the college. This is one that I'm most proud of because this improvement came from students. I shared this a year or so ago, and things happened with the pandemic, and we were building this welcome center, and it has the porte-cochere. And porte-cochere is actually a French name, and it's longer than that, but I abbreviate it, and it simply means a covering, a roofed, E-D, R-O-F-E-D, R-O-O-F-E-D. That's right. a roof covering that protects you literally in inclement weather or hot weather if you're in a vehicle and someone can drop you off. How this came about, and that's why our students, we don't know what geniuses we're talking to and working with and helping, because they got it. They've got a different level of learning that we did not probably have or think that way. We're all, generations make things better. And I'll never forget it. It was my second year here, and a group of students came into my office, and they basically said, "May I talk to you?" I said, "Sure." And it was 4 of them. 2 of them were in wheelchairs, and the other 2 came in, and this is a true story from my heart. They basically just got to the point, and they said, "Many of our friends aren't with us anymore." I said, "What do you mean?" I was hoping they meant they'd graduated and gone on and gone to all the respective colleges, but what they simply said was, they're not here, and they went on to tell me. And what happened is, and was, the fact that students would come to our campus every day, go into class, and their parents or loved ones would drop them off. And we're seeing now that it does rain still in Houston, Texas. It'd be raining, and they'd drop them off, and they'd roll into the classroom, and everything was going well, and class was over, and all of a sudden, their chair would not move. It was shorted out because of the rain, and they got wet coming from the parking lot to the class. And those wheelchairs that our students occupy now and did occupy then, they run anywhere from $25,000 up until about $60,000. And they just can't go to the wheelchair distributorship on 290 or 45 or in the Galleria. There's no such thing. They have to order their wheelchairs. It takes anywhere from 8 months to 18 months to get a wheelchair for them. And they weren't here anymore because of that. They said to me, "Is there any way you can get a covering so that our parents can drop us off and we not get wet?" And isn't that amazing? We're talking about 20 years that Lone Star CyFair has been here. And it took our students with disabilities to come up with an idea that not just helped them, but helped everybody who wants to stay dry, who someone is driving them. Don't drive your car under there and leave it parked. Because Captain Timniak and his team will remove that vehicle for sure. Unless you're a food truck, and that's another story we'll talk about at lunch. Please know what they brought up and what they said. That's why feedback and evaluations and telling us what we're doing right, telling us what you'd like to see us improve, we know we can make a difference. But if we don't know about it, we'll think for 20 years everything was lovely, we have a great place. Now, it's only on one side right now. I think for the people who are on this side, you might need a place to also shelter and drop off. I'll leave that to Ted and Santa Claus and see if we can get that also. So big deal. The other is this. Our International Resource Center, our Veterans Resource Center, and shout out to, and we do this every time, shout out to any of the veterans in here, or your spouse, or dependent of a veteran. Thank you very, very much. Super proud of what we do for veterans. I got to tour the Harris County Jail last week, and it was a tour I've never had in my life. And they have a program where they put about 40 good prisoners in a learning environment, along with 40 elderly who are in jail, 60 or over. And they put them together because they found that so often we recognize our veterans. That's a great thing. But we have our seniors who they found that can help the veterans understand what the seniors have gone through. And it's an amazing relationship. They actually study from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. And the character and the competence and them believing in they can learn and getting a foundation is unbelievable, because they're a group that within 18 to 24 months, they were going to be released. And that was the group who was going to be released. Actually, they're going to be released September the 1st. And it was an amazing experience. And what I'm saying is, we don't know where people are in life, what put them there, what brought them there. But if they, and that's our students in our population, make it to us, they believe that this is a place that they can get help that in most cases they could not get elsewhere, especially in their community and with the kind of embracing that we do. The I belong, I think, is so relevant and will forever be so relevant. I've been to a bunch of these. This is almost over. But this is one of the best I've ever been to. I'm telling you right now. So thank everybody for that. And here's the last one right here. It'll come back because I have some of the best in OTS right upstairs. Looking at me, and now they're running down here. Let's give them applause as they come down. That can't be good news, but guess what? As you heard Doug Caesar say, they'll be there in 10 minutes or less. And let me say just a word about this. You've seen it before. I heard people already say, and we give credit to who it is. This is one of the most amazing pieces I've ever seen related to what we all need to be about, lifting others up. And these are little kids who are lifting others up. And I think their words that they say in 28 seconds sums up about who we are, but what we get to see from what they're about to say as they're running up, warming up the piano. Give them some encouragement. Here it comes.
You're a champion. You're not a quitter. Quitters don't do what they're supposed to. Champions do. And you're a star. And you shine. That's what you do. That's what you do every day.
What better way to get out of here and go eat? All of you, you're here. You are indeed a star. You shine. We look to seeing you having some lunch at the old lunch place.